I'm Claire, and I'm here with founders of 1020 Network, Ian Tutor and Paul Hill. And we're going to talk all things networking. So tell me about networking. Why would somebody want to network, Ian?
Let's use me as an example. I'm pretty sure Paul's the same. Paul and I go back many moons, just after the Earth was cooling, I think we met, wasn't it? And,
Yeah.
I spent the first half of my working life, or first quarter of my working life, in the military, so I didn't need any networking. When I left, all of a sudden, you've got to get some customers, you've got to get some clients because of the nature of what I was doing. And it was suggested to me, join one way of getting business, join one of the local networks. So I fished around for a bit, found some, tried a few out, as you do, and then ended up with what for me at the time was an excellent one for several years. In fact, 70% of my business came from it. So it was more a question of, we know networking works in that context, but you also know when it doesn't work, per se. And I picked up fairly quickly. It was good, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't knock any other networks out there at all, because there's a certain fit for different people. But I realized quite quickly that 90% of my time was not productive it was fun, but it wasn't productive within the sense of getting business from it. And that was because probably only 10% of the people in there were geared up towards doing it. But it worked. And if you throw more people at it, then the 10% rises.
Yeah.
But very quickly I thought, you know what, it was just an idea once. I thought, why don't we just take the 10% group that get it and put them in a room and then build the 10% group? It doesn't quite work like that, but that was the idea. And then I was introduced, it wasn't a referral from a network, it was through my wife actually, to an accountant. And the accountant, when I was sat with him, said, look, I've got shed loads of clients, his exact words. And I'm more than happy to pass them to you because I know you're good at what you do. What's in it for me? I said, what do you want? He said, I want 50% of everything you do.
Oh, that's a big number.
Yeah, I said, that's not going to happen. I said, look, I'm happy with 20. Within my industry, that 20% sort of commission share is quite common. I said, I'm happy with 20%. If you want to do that, great. If not, thanks for the coffee, I'm off. He said, no, that's where I was going with it in the long run anyway. Great, we just saved each other half an hour. Boom. He passed me, it was a mortgage, passed me a mortgage, big one, which A was a test and B was just see what you could get. Fast forward it. This, metaphorically speaking, envelope went back to him afterwards and he opened it. I won't say exactly what he said because we're on camera, but suffice it to say it was, oh my gosh, that was easy. And he just kept shoveling them. Okay. At that point, I thought, okay, this works. There's obviously an incentive here. If you get that 10% group of people and then incentivize them again with the right ones that want to do it, then surely we've got a game changer. Fast forward to me being abroad, it's irrelevant where. We tried it there. It was a long story to it. We tried it there. And over the last few years, it worked extremely well. And they've got it nailed down to it's like a board meeting. And they come in, they sit down, and it's right, boom, what are we hunting down? Now, I then bumped into, when did we bump into it? So it was a networking meeting.
It was one of the networking meetings.
4N.
I wasn't going to mention it, but it was at 4N, and I recognised the back of his head and his voice.
As you do.
And I went over and said, "Ian Shooter," and he looked at me like, "Oh my God, who the hell are you?" And then I played this game about let's guess who, and he went, "Oh my God, Paul," and he did try and run away. To be fair,
didn't run very far then.
His look had changed over those years. It'd been a long while. It'd been a long while since we'd met.
20 years.
But then we joined other networks together, didn't we? And then it was Paul, because I tried doing what I'd worked abroad, tried doing it here. And to be honest, it didn't really work because you just ended up, when you were trying that 10%, you just ended up with another 90%.
Yeah.
And it was the wrong people. So we knew it worked, but it was just the wrong people.
Yeah.
I thought, too much other stuff, I can't be bothered. And he said, you need to do this. This will work. So we did it again based on Paul hammering at me to do it again. And then we just sat down and went through it, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
Concept went from there.
So what has networking meant for you and your business, Paul?
I wouldn't have a business without networking. So I was a mortgage broker for 25 years. Not going to bore you with the story unless you want to be bored, but I had my own individual traumas that I went through, and I sought help, which was very unlike me to go and seek help from anybody else. And it involved the likes of hypnotherapy, NLP, all sorts of bits and pieces. And I sat there and thought, this therapist was doing their best for me, but my mindset was, is that all you've got to offer? I could do a better job. And then I went and got qualified and then started to do a better job. But I didn't know enough people that wanted to know hypnotherapy. So I joined a networking group. And again, like Ian, I will not knock any networking groups. You can knock the politics and the practices beside, but networking works. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I went along and I got all my initial clients from these networking groups. And then I found that I was getting referrals from those clients. But it was only a very small percentage of the people within the networking groups, like Ian said, that actually got it.
Yeah.
And then were referring me on. Yeah. And they got it because they bought into me as a person. Some of them had hypnotherapy with me, so they bought into me as a person, but also it worked. But it's a very small percentage. And what you really want is you want everybody in the room to buy into you in some way. Yeah. And the only way they buy into you in networking is if there's skin in the game. Mm-hmm. And skin in the game for us was about money. I'm not knocking networks that work on the basis of being a community, because if that's what you want, it's a fantastic thing.
Great.
It's like you said, isn't it? There's
absolutely
for everybody, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
absolutely. But if you've got that 10% of people that go to networking because they want to increase their business and they want to earn more, as well as having the ethos that they want to help other people earn more, then you've got the basis of something that could actually work.
Okay. So who is the right fit for 1020?
Good question. Essentially, the criteria we try to put in is pretty much the same as a lot of networks, in the sense that they've got to be good at what they do. They've also got to have a good network of their own before they come, because some people, and again, that's fine, some people will join a network because, bless them, they don't really know many people. Yeah. So they join in the network in order to do that. And
they may have moved into the area or something, right?
Exactly. But that doesn't help if within how we run it within the setup. So they're good at what they do. They've got to have a network of their own. They've got to be happy with this commission share without increasing it. And somebody said to me many, many moons ago, Paul and I were involved in a network many, many moons ago at the beginning, which was several thousand strong. And the simple rule of thumb within that was that a small amount over a lot of people is worth having for obvious reasons. So within this, that third setup is they almost want to have this 20% more than they want business for themselves. Because guess what happens? If everybody's working on that line, then everybody's going to get business for themselves anyway. And I've watched that abroad. I watched that happen. Once they're coming into the room almost going, you know what? What can I do? What can I make almost? I forget my own business. What can I make here? Because it's easy. And then everybody else is doing that, and all of a sudden the business flows dramatically. And then to be honest, that's pretty much it. We have 3 or 4 categories, but it depends on the person. How we tend to do it is we'll sit down, we'll have a chat. There is no pressure. In fact, I've been accused of talking more people out of it than talking them in. And there's been a lot more no's than there've been yeses, because basically it's not ticking the boxes. And we've had this quite a bit, haven't we? So it's, you've got to kiss a lot of frogs.
Yeah. Finding the right people that gets it. Yeah, and can bring the right people into the network as well. Yeah, so we're not. I mean, my understanding of 1020 is it's not about having 1,000 members. It's about having the right members, right?
Absolutely not. And it's getting people to understand. I mean, we went through months and months and months of saying to people, the criteria, as Ian's already said, 1, you've got to be good at what you do. And we don't mean you've got to be good at you telling us what you do. Yeah. We check you out, and we go onto LinkedIn, we go and look at your referrals, we make sure that you're the right person. So you've got to be good at what you do. You can't be what I call a bedroom business, so you haven't got a network. And I'm not saying that people that have bedroom businesses haven't got necessarily, but if your phone contacts are 100, that's no good for networking. You need to be able to say, I've got a number of people that I can speak to about your job. So you've got, know what you're doing, have a network. Yeah. Be prepared to give away 20% of what you make on the deal. Yeah. Not 20% of your turnover, not 20% of what you charge your client, 20% of what you personally make. So that works equally well for people who are employed as well as self-employed. A lot of people think you need to join our network because you're self-employed. No, if you get paid £100 commission by doing that deal and I've given it to you, I want my £20, thank you very much, because that's what you signed up for. Okay. But more importantly, you've got to be out there looking to make the 20%. Yeah. That's what we based it on, looking to make the 20%. Because I now have got skin in everybody's game. Because if I refer to you, I know that you say, right, that's going to earn you 200 quid. Happy days. That's 200 quid that I don't need to look for in my own business. And that person there, that's going to earn me £2,000. £2,000 I can get from that one. Yeah, nice. That's what we're looking for. Yeah. So what you're in effect building up is that holy grail of almost passive income. There's work that goes into it, which means it's not quite passive, but how many times have we referred over the years and never known what the person has made? Not that we're interested, but how much money over the years could you and I and you have personally made on 20%?
I did try and work it out once. I stopped.
I think that would be too depressing.
Well, it would be tens of thousands of pounds.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
Okay. You want to refer anyway because you're trying to help that client and solve that problem. So you're going to refer anyway, but you might as well make some money on it.
And because everybody in the group ticks off number one, which is you're good at what you do, I don't have to be fearful about that client coming back to me. Sure. And if they want to know have I earned from it, yes, we're a commission-based networking group. You know, we quite often joke, you mentioned about the envelope, the back in the day, the brown envelope. We don't do that, but we will. I've been known to pass across a white envelope to someone in the group that's referred me business. They've already had the money transferred into their bank account. Yeah. Okay. There's nothing in the envelope, but it is a way of saying thank you. Yeah. Because this is above board. This is a proper networking group, and we base it on commissions that we pay to each other. There's nothing underhand. It's not, oh, have you heard about this group? No, this is what we do. The 10, 20, top 10% of networkers prepared to give away 20% of what they make on a deal. Yeah. Okay. Not rocket science.
No. Yeah. So what's the way people will find out more from us then? Go on the website?
Go on the website. The website's got pretty much, it's constantly in flux because obviously we're still in that kissing frog stage, to be honest. This is not a finished project by any means.
I object to being called a frog.
And we've also got other areas that are now requesting, can we do it there? Okay. I'm not in any rush. That, you know, let's get this one working.
Get it right, yeah.
To answer your question, they need to go on the website, have a look. If they have an interest, then have a chat. I can't guarantee anything from there, to be honest, but we'll have a chat. If there's an opening for it and they tick all those boxes, then that's it. They'll come along. There's certainly no pressure. As I said, I've been told I've taught people more out of it than in. Because you want, again.
I think it's fair to be realistic, though, isn't it? This isn't about 10-20 growing the members. It doesn't add benefit to us having 1,000 members. We'd be better off with like 10 amazing members all doing work together and passing lots of commission.
To be honest, Claire, that's a good point that just kind of reminded me, again, without going into the details of who it is and all the rest of it, the one I'm talking about that's abroad has 13 members. That's from 40 down to 13 over a period of time, and they get it.
Yeah. And is everybody in there making money?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really. Yeah. That's what you want, isn't it? Yeah. If you've got a network of everybody making money off each other.
I won't go into figures. I know what they are, but it's pointless. And plus, quite honestly, sometimes people don't believe you anyway. But they just have, look, any network, any team. I spent years doing rugby teams, especially when I was in the Navy, etc. And the team's only as good as the people on the pitch.
Right.
Well, a network's only as good as the people that's in the room. You could have a room full of people with 100 people in it. If they're all no good in the sense of networking,
well, they forget about the team as soon as they leave out the door, right? That's the difference.
But no, they've got 13.
Okay.
And one of those, it isn't even doesn't even have a business.
Okay.
But he knows a lot of people.
Okay.
There's a lot of people.
So he's making his money just literally by.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's the number one in there. Him and his wife, and they just constantly, they know a lot of people, and the nature of, which I won't go into details of it, but the nature of what he does means that he knows a lot of people, and a lot of people trust him.
Right.
But he doesn't have a business. But he gets it, and he gets a lot of pleasure from actually helping the people that are in there.
Yeah, to grow their client base.
Yeah, to grow their business as well.
And he knows that he can rely on them to do a good job, so he's not going to look foolish by recommending them to friends and family and stuff.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why it's so important we get the right people.
And also, when we're doing networking, everybody keeps going on about six-figure salaries. Six-figure salaries. You want to aim to be a six-figure salary, etc. My aim for this group is for everybody in the group to earn £1,000 a month.
From referrals.
From referrals.
Yeah.
£1,000 a month. People go, it's £1,000, 12 grand a year. Go and get that 12 grand pay rise now. From doing something that you're already doing.
Yeah.
If you're already in a job and you continue to do the same stuff, you're not going to get a £12,000 pay rise. But we're doing stuff that we already do. All we want you to do is do it more focused with people that you trust. So there's no reason why everybody in the group couldn't be earning £1,000 a month. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah.
Yes, without a doubt. Yeah. Well, again, it's not like we're doing something that is a test. We've already done it. It's just not in the UK. Okay, you could argue certain countries have certain mindsets which are slightly different. That's true. But people are people at the end of the day. So yeah, that's the plan. Just to slowly grow it with the right people.
Yeah.
And that everybody benefits.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to see where 1020 goes next then.
Yeah.
To infinity and beyond.
Where we go.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Claire.
Cheers,
That's great. Thank you.